Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Swati, working as Assistant Professor in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department of Annamacharya University. Today's topic is dbms languages. Whenever we want to share any information with the others, then we use whenever we want to share some information with the others, then we use a medium called as language to communicate with the others. In the similar way, whenever we want to communicate with the database, we require some language to perform operations efficiently. So here, the SQL is the software which is used to communicate with the database. In short, the DBMS language is nothing but it is a software or medium which is used to communicate with the database. So there are several types of languages in the SQL software. Those are DDL, DML, DCL, TCL and DQL. So what is the meaning of DDL? DDL is nothing but data definition language which helps to define the logical structure of the database. That means whenever we want to create new tables in the database and objects into that particular database, creating indexes, constraints to a particular database element object. The commands in the data definition language are create, alter, rename, truncate, and drop. Here all these operations mainly deals with the structure of the database. So example, alter table student, modify sname char 20. Initially, we have created the sname column with the character length of 15. Let us suppose some of the student names are exceeding more than 15 characters value. Then we can modify the existing table structure with the command alter table student, modify the column name, whichever column we want to modify, that particular column name, and what are the values we want to modify, we can modify. Next, coming to the rename command. The rename command is used to rename an object from the database instances. So whenever we want to do some modifications in the structure of the table with regarding its name, then we can use the rename command. So the syntax is rename table. First we need to write the old table name and then we need to write the command to, then we can write the new name. Example, we have created the student table. Now we are converting it into student 1. Rename table. The old name is student. We are converting the student to student 1. The next command in DDL is truncate. It is used to remove all the data from the tables in a database instance. That means if we want to delete only the data present in the table, then we can use the truncate command. The syntax is truncate table table name. Whatever table we want to delete the data, then we can write truncate table to table name. Here if you observe, here we have converted the student table to student 1. So I am mentioning the new table name. The next command is drop. It is used to delete an object from the database or to drop the database instances. So here we have removed the data from the database, but still the table is existing in the database. Now the drop command is used to delete it from the database. That is nothing but we can delete the table. The syntax is drop table table name. Here example is drop table student 1. Now after this command is executed, if you want to, if you search with the table name student 1, then it will display no such table exists. Next, data manipulation language, in short DML. Here the data manipulation language, it mainly deals or focuses with the requests and allows users to access and modify the stored data stored in the databases. So we have created the table in the DDL command with the help of create command. Now we need to add some instances. That means the data objects we want to insert into the table. We can do that with the help of data manipulation language. So its most typical functions are interesting, inserting, updating and retrieving data from a database. It affects the specified rows of the table. They are not auto-committed. Changes are, that means changes are not permanent. We can roll back our changes in the DML language. Unlike the DDL, the DML operations are not auto-committed. So some of the DML commands are insert, update, delete and select. So let us discuss about these commands in detail. So what is the meaning of insert? As we have created the table, now we need to insert the rows into the table. So here with the help of insert command, we can add new data to a database table that already exists. Here the syntax is insert into table name, column 1 value, column 2 value, column 1 name, column 2 name, followed by the all the column names in the table. After that, the keyword values. Then we will enter actual values respectively for the column 1, column 2, similarly column n. Example, insert into student. The column names are SID, SNAME and mobile. After that, we are entering the actual values. So, I am taking the general example. Here it is the roll number SID, student ID. This is the student name and this is the mobile number of the student. In the similar way, we can insert required number of rows into the table. Next, the update command. The update command is used for changes in the values. As we have created the rows into the table and if there are some mistakes in the table or any updates in the table. That means if they have changed their mobile number, then we can modify the mobile number in the table with the help of update command. So the update command is used to changes or update values in the table. The syntax is update table, table name, set column 1 with the new value. And here we need to mention the where condition. That means out of 10 rows or 15 rows, which particular row you want to modify and which column value you need to modify. So here by specifying the condition, we can modify only some of the rows or only one row. Example, update student set name is equal to Manoj where SID is equal to the SID value is this. So if you observe here with this roll number, the existing name is Sudha, but now we are modifying the student name with the Manoj. The next command is delete. It is used to remove rows or records from a table. So the syntax is delete from table name where condition. If you want to delete any particular row, then we can specify the condition here. Depending upon this condition, the rows will be affected. The example is delete from student where his name is equal to Manoj. Now we are removing the row with the student name Manoj. If there are multiple students with the name Manoj, then all those rows will be deleted from the database. The next command is select. It is used to retrieve data from a table or multiple tables in the database. So if you want to retrieve some information from one or more tables, then we can use the command select. The syntax is select selection list from table name. So if you want to select multiple columns, then we can write, or if you want to retrieve all the columns from the table, then you can use select star from student. Here the star symbol says that we want to retrieve all the columns from the table. Next, coming to the data control language. The data control language is nothing but which helps us to control the commands or data in the database. So it is a programming language that controls who has access to the data that users store in a database. Essentially, this language manages the database system's rights and permissions. It allows users to grant or revoke database privileges. So, how to secure our data or how to control the data is done with the help of data control language. So, the commands in data control language are grant and revoke. The grant command is used to give the access to the database. If you are a user for the database, then you will be given the access for the database. That means whether you have read permissions, write permissions, or only executable permissions. So these type of permissions can be given to the user with the help of grant command, and revoke command is used to access to remove the access for the user. Let us suppose if you have given the write permission for the user, and if you want to take away that particular permission, write permission from the user, then with the help of revoke command we can do that. So let us see the syntax for grant and revoke. The syntax for the grant command is grant permission type on object to user. Example, grant. Here we are giving the access for the database. Like we can connect to the database, we can add the resources, and as well as we are declaring the user as the database administrator. DBA is nothing but database administrator. So for the user Sudha, we are giving the accesses like the Sudha can connect to the database, they can allocate the resources for the database, as well as we are declaring the Sudha as the database administrator. Now the syntax for the revoke is revoke permission type on object from user. So here we have given connect resource and database administrator to Sudha. So we are revoking the permission of database administrator from Sudha. So the example is revoke. The permission type is DBA. We are removing the DBA access from whom? From Sudha. We can write rollback or rollback save point name. That means in middle we can give some save points. Later on we can roll back till only one particular save point. Next, finally, the data query language. It is an optional language. Why? Because the select command, it can be deal as defined as DML command as well as DQL command. So the only operation or the only command in the DQL language is select command. So it is a programming language that has the access to the data users store in a database. To store the data in a database, it allows users to just see the data in the database. No modifications can be done on data. As the name suggests, we can only query the database, but we cannot perform any modifications or changes to the database. So the select is used to select the rows or columns from the database. So what is the syntax? Select selection list from the table name. So it is the overview of the dbms languages as we have discussed: data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, transaction control language, and data query language. So you can see here the summary of the all these languages in short. Thank you.